Happy Sabbath. This is Pastor Wentland Paul bringing you another voice note. We affirm faith and we celebrate critical Christian thinking. This morning, I'd like to talk to you on the subject, the end of history and the last man. The end of history and the last man. Louis Menand, August 27, 2018, in an article in the New Yorker, reflects on Francis Fukuyama's prediction that history will end because of the success of liberal democracy. Fukuyama made the prediction before the fall of the Soviet Union in 1989, for he was a Sovietologist, an expert in Soviet governance and the Soviet experience. Then in the 1990s, communism took a hit and the Soviet Union was no longer. Francis Fukuyama became popular because he had predicted the end of the Cold War and the end of the possibility of a Third World War with the fall of communism. His theory was based on the following. Hegel, Fukuyama said, had written a moment when a perfectly rational form of society and the state would become victorious. Now, with communism vanquished and the major powers converging on a single political and economic model, Hegel's prediction had finally been fulfilled. There would be a common marketization of international relations and the world would achieve homeostasis, unquote. This meant that a new type of peace will prevail, driven by globalization and the market economy. But the Bible predicted the contrary. Rather, the Bible predicted the continuation of violence, which was the legacy of empire. According to Daniel chapter 2, verse 43, and whereas iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not join one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Daniel, during the reign of Babylon, of the Babylonian Empire, articulated in symbolism the rise of the great empires, of the great four empires with great violence. And finally, empire will disappear, but not the violent legacy of empire. The iron, the clay symbolism was used to indicate that there will not be homeostasis as predicted by Francis Fukuyama, but rather violence of empire will continue. Man will seek to dominate man through the medium of the violent legacy of empire. Francis Fukuyama has since, in 2018, revised his grand theory, and I quote, "Where is the desire for the recognition of identity politics, as Fukuyama also calls it, a threat to liberalism because it cannot be economic or procedural, it cannot be by economic or procedural reforms. Having the same amount of wealth as everyone else or the same opportunity to acquire it is not a substitute," unquote. Yes, it is not a substitute because it is situated in man's fallen nature, and man's fallen nature seeks supremacy over other men. Everyone wants to be a drum major in order to be in front of the parade of life. Violence will be used to achieve that end, whether it is on the job, in the schools, in the community, in the state, among states, or even in the home. The violent legacy of empire prevails. God will end history with violence to bring about homeostasis and peace, as is indicated in Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of this king shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it will break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. The last man will be God's people. The last man will be his people, triumphant with him. Stay with God. Christian friends, I thank you.